the form of new signing Cameron Archer. Not signed in time to feature in this weekend's game, but it is a name that Paul Heckingbottom and team here, Carl, have been chasing for a while. So just how big a coup is this for the Blades?
Yeah, it's wonderful. Really good, young, proven striker. You know, his goal ratio, 1 in 2, he's lethal, and he's so explosive. Didn't enjoy watching him play against us. You know, he's one of those strikers where you just look at it and you think, oh, this could be long.
Is Southampton Starlet Cameron Archer a key target to Jamaica football revival? Join Premier 7 right now for the big chat. They say don't look back, but sometimes it's important to see how far you have come. This quote was selected as it speaks directly to the Jamaica men's national team and their quest surrounding their effort in recruiting players to represent the national team. And of course, I am here to speak directly about a particular player in the name Cameron Archer that they could turn to for some assistance surrounding the striking or goal scoring drought. Welcome to Premier 7, everyone. I am your host, Ryan Nelson. Season greetings to you as well, and thank you so much for being back here to support this amazing channel. People, today I am here because of you and because of the Jamaica men's national team, and I believe that this year in 2025, it is of significance that the national team and of course the Jamaica Football Federation step up their interest or go harder surrounding recruiting players who could become potential great to help Jamaica national team to book the World Cup spot and also to perform there beyond. All right, so of course today's topic is all about the importance of Cameron Archer, but with the question, is Southampton Starlet Cameron Archer a key target to Jamaica football revival? People, if you're new to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe. If you are already a subscriber, you know what to do. Premier 7 has so far 1,687 subscribers. I need a lot more for my channel to gain more recognition on the YouTube space. Now, this particular topic will be split into 3 different aspects: Cameron Archer news flashback, Cameron Archer assessment, and Cameron Archer, if recruited, could he add quality to the Jamaica men's national team attack? I think in a nutshell, some persons would say yes. And speaking of such, I have done a poll that speaks about such statement. And the question was, is it time for the Jamaica Football Federation to show more interest in acquiring Southampton player Cameron Archer? That's a question. 29 votes, 2 likes, but majority states yes with 86%, 10% not sure, no 3%. So if we should conclude from that point, we can then finalize to say most of Jamaica football fans who have answered that particular poll would have the interest to see him playing. The thing is, we have Mikel Antonio, but you know what happened? He was in an accident, nor released from the hospital. He will not be available to play for Jamaica for a while. We have Trevante Stewart, we have Bowser, we have Romario Williams, but the names mentioned, I won't say they're not good enough in all games, but we need a mixture of quality. And qualities, of course, that can instantly hit the ground running, because Jamaica is short up front where goals is concerned. So the thing is, people, let's just have a talk about Cameron Archer before I talk about the news. So Cameron Archer, he's of Jamaican descent because of his mommy, and that is a good thing. Cameron Archer has been through a lot of football changes. His academy was at Aston Villa. He went on several loans, let's say to Sheffield United and others. Then he went back to Aston Villa. Then he's now at Southampton. But the thing is, there was a particular he went to on loan that gave him that highlight that he deserved in terms of playing games. And not only one, but are more than one. But I just want to point out the last loan that he went on in 2023 at Middlesbrough, where he played 20 games and he scored 11 goals. That shows growth, that shows belief. And with belief, by way of having those persons around you to grow you in terms of being properly on the football pitch and off the football pitch, then your talent will become recognized by others. Now, knowing that Cameron Archer is currently playing at Southampton, they're not in the top 10, they're not in the top 15, but I think it can be impactful on his career, whereas persons may believe that Southampton is not good enough. But some persons will say it is not good enough for him. Because if you check about on social media or let's read a paper, you will see persons having good news to say on Cameron Archer. 18 games so far for Southampton and 2 goals. But in that sense, I just want to reflect on the news that was being published on Cameron Archer surrounding the interest that Jamaica had and should still have about him in becoming an option to represent the national team. All right, so back in 2023, he was given some praises on loan at Middlesbrough. Carrick hails unselfish reggae boy, hopeful Archer. So Middlesbrough manager Michael Carrick has praised reggae boy prospect Cameron Archer's contribution to the club's Premier League promotion push, but admitted he was unsure about the unknown Aston Villa forward future. Right? So the 21-year-old attacker who qualifies to represent Jamaica through his mother has scored 10 goals and logged 6 assists for Borough since arriving at the Riverside in January. Middlesbrough lies fourth in the championship on 74 points, all but assured of a playoff spot in their bid to return to the Premier League for the first time in 6 years. Carrick states, I don't know, mentioned Carrick, when asked about Archer's role at Middlesbrough behind the present loan contract. At the moment in time, I am not sure. It's never straightforward anyway, especially with young players at that age. Loan, permanent, leagues, there are that as we get to the summer. No, it is a case that at that point in time, Michael Carrick seems a bit uncertain about Cameron Archer. But it doesn't state that Cameron Archer wasn't a player that he would give a chance in his team. Remember the goal contribution. And possibly you can understand as well from that Cameron Archer isn't the type of player who Michael Carrick had any issues with. But the thing is, he gave the players of his club the praise that they deserve. And if he wasn't a player that wasn't performing, I don't think Carrick would have been talking about him in that particular time. And the thing is, with Cameron Archer, not only Michael Carrick highlighted his future, there are a lot of persons beyond that who would say Cameron Archer is a player that would do well. Not only for Middlesbrough, but he deserves or is of the quality to play in the Premier League. And as you can see, he's playing right now for Southampton. So people, do you think so far though that Cameron Archer is the sort of player that Jamaica should go for? As I've said earlier on, we will dive into details on such. Now let's do an assessment about Cameron Archer. So, as mentioned earlier out, Cameron Archer is a young player, right? A striker, or let's say a winger, that has huge potential. For accuracy, he's just 23. And for Southampton, 47% starting 11, 54% minutes, 17 goal participation. His main role is to be a centre forward, but he can play as a second striker, right winger, and we understand that he's of Jamaican descent, thanks to his mother. A player of his caliber is not on the radar to play for England. And is it a case for which I should be of the impression to say, Jamaica, go and get Cameron Archer because England doesn't want him? I don't see him as a person who is rejected by England. It's just that there are better players ahead of him. And even though Southampton is not in the top 15 in the Premier League, there are many times that teams are being relegated and quality players are bought, and well, they do not all times perform well at their respective clubs that purchase them, but because of their potential and their quality, top coach or better teams, better clubs see their need to get them in. And that is the reason why, because Jamaica is in a crisis surrounding quality, not only to score goals, but on the pitch, I think Cameron Archer could be a good addition. Not the first time Jamaica has scouted him. It's time for JFF to step up and see how well they can work on getting him in yet again. But I also want to point out something also here about Cameron Archer surrounding what can basically understand about him, not only from a statistical perspective, but also from a perspective of quality. Quality in the game, playing for his club. Now, for Cameron Archer, his rating so far is 6.52. 12 appearances, starting as a forward, 4 goals. As a sub, 9 appearances, 1 goal. So it shows that he's better as a striker to start the game because his goal contribution is better in that case. But beyond that, his long shots, for a little man, is very strong. Weaknesses though, holding onto the ball, weak, aerial duels, weak, finishing weak. But his style of play likes to dribble, likes to shoot from distance, like to play short passes. Now, that can be leading to the feeling of being mixed. Persons may say, Cameron Archer, not a good player to really look at in that aspect, based on certain aspects surrounding his quality, for example, finishing. Because we know Jamaica doesn't have proper finishers up to this point, and sometimes Jamaica relies heavily on one striker, Bowser. But Bowser has not been delivering, and Tony has not been delivering. But I think that Cameron Archer may be looking at Jamaica, but it's for Jamaica to get him in. Now let's take on the big part. If he's being recruited, right? Could he add quality to the Jamaica men's national team attack? The thing is, I believe that Cameron Archer could do so, but I just want to point this out. Sometimes players watch what is taking place, and then they will say, I'm not going to make that move. But I believe if Mason Greenwood has been recruited to Jamaica, then it could pull a lot of players. Maybe it even pulls back an Omar Hutchinson and pull even a Cameron Archer. The reason for such is because when you see leaders, when you see quality being added to the team, then you have less pressure. And yes, Cameron Archer may not be having the best spell at Southampton based on league table position, but when you have quality, you can perform when you're in the rightful environment. It would be a win to me because Jamaica needs boost surrounding goals. We need players who, when other teams hear about their names, they can say, oh my God, this guy is going to be a threat. Things like those we have to consider. And I think JFF was trying for him before. I don't think anything breakdown surrounding they did not have the interest to get him anymore. But because of there was a dip in terms of news feed, then we can be here wondering if he's still on the radar. Because in 2024, his name wasn't really mentioned, but sometimes we have to look back to see how far we're coming from. And looking back on Cameron Archer, he can be a good player. Now, persons may be saying, do not go for players who don't have the interest. I agree. But sometimes the players can have interest, but those in authority may not be pulling them the right way. Sometimes we have to look on the psychological side of things and see how well we can improve the mental side of persons. And when that is being done, then you are surprised how well these persons are performing. So, people, I think he could be a good addition to Jamaica because he can provide a dynamic across, not only playing up front as a striker, but he can play even on the wing, also as a secondary striker. So versatility is a key thing for him. So people, what is your say though on the topic? Is Southampton Starlet Cameron Archer a key target to Jamaica football revival? I have done my part. Now it's for you to share your point. And once you comment, Premier 7 will reply. So take care. Goodbye until we meet again.